Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time in here, thank you for stopping by. Now I'm gonna teach you how to make this file using heat transfer vinyl paired with rhinestones. This is the result. It looks absolutely beautiful and I will take you step by step how to do it. So let's begin. Hey guys, we are in Silhouette Studio. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna go over here where you see this A and I'm gonna click on it. Then I'm going to click anywhere on my canvas and I'm gonna type the word love in all caps. I'm gonna go back over here to the same text. I'm going to click on it, the A. I'm gonna click on the canvas and I'm gonna write deeply. After I do this, I am going to select the word love and I am going to go over here where you see this A, okay? And I'm gonna click on the A. Now I'm gonna change this from Arial to Favor, okay? Now that's the font that I'm gonna use, so I'm gonna click on it. The next thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to make the word, the love, a little bit bigger. Now I'm gonna just do an estimation of what size I need. So I'm just gonna stretch it out. I'm looking for a size of about, say, 11 inches. And I'm going to go up here where it says object and I'm gonna ungroup it. Because if you notice, the letters are very close to each other, especially the E and the V. So if I go ahead and turn this into a rhinestone, it is going to be too close. So I know the behavior of this font. So I'm just going to scoot my letters over just a bit so that they are not too close to each other. And that is okay. I'm going to select the whole word. Now I know my word is selected because you see that dash line right there? It is around all the word. Then I'm gonna go back up to object and I'm going to group it together. When I group it together, I'm not done modifying the size of it. Right now it is at 11.015. I want it to be a little bit more wider, not too wide. So I'm gonna go for a 4.5 inches. Now this is okay. The next thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to change the fill. Now right now, the only thing that is around it is a red line. I want it to be filled in. So I'm gonna go up here where you see this little grid mark. I'm going to press the drop down arrow and I'm going to change that color to red. Now you cannot see it, but the red line is still there. So I'm gonna click on that red line and this little sign right here means none. I'm gonna click on it and that red line will go away. Now that I have this right here, I am going to go and work on the deeply. So I'm gonna click on the word deeply, okay? And I'm going to take this font from Arial, change it from Arial to a font that I have called Thunder. Okay. When I have it, it is gonna look like this. The font is gonna look like this. If I should zoom up, I'm gonna zoom up a little bit. I want you to, that's too much zoom. I want you to see what is happening here. Do you notice that each of these letters, even though they look connected, they're actually not a complete word, as so to speak. So it is not a full writing, it has joins. If you look here, those are joinings. Okay? Whenever you're working with a script font, it's gonna look like this. Before I do anything to this font, I'm going to stretch it out to have an idea of how I want it. I am going to go ahead and I'm gonna ungroup it. I'm gonna go up here where it says object and I'm gonna ungroup it. What that does, it brings the words or it takes away the space that is between the letters. I'm going to leave it ungrouped for now. because I want to change the Y to be a little bit more fancy. So I'm gonna move my Y. You notice I can move my Y out of the place. Now I want you to go to what they call the character map UWP. Okay, this is what it looks like. It is on every computer has a character map, but what character map UWP does is that it is much it's much more legible. You could see it the letters better. So that is why I downloaded this one. Now, this has all the fonts that you have on your computer. I just see if you go here, it is it is in alphabetical order. So at T, you'll see thunder. So if I click on thunder, you'll see this will come up. When this comes up, it has all the different characters. Now, I chose to use this Y right here because it's a little bit more fancy and I like it very much. So what I notice, if I should copy this Y to my clipboard and say for instance, I copy it, see it says copy, and I go back to Silhouette Studio and I press Control V, you'll see that it comes up like this. Doesn't look like a Y at all, right? So in order to get that Y, I'm gonna go back to the character map. You will have to save the Y. So you're gonna go here where it says save, right? And you're gonna either save it as a PNG image or as an SVG image. See, right here, it's telling you. I went ahead and I saved it as a PNG image and I used the black fill. So I click on it and it will give you an option how you want it saved. So here it's gonna say Thunder Regular and it tells you the name of what you're downloading because right now this Y is represented as U plus E4, U plus E4 F8. Now I downloaded it already on my computer, but all you're gonna do is press save. So I don't want to download it twice. When you do that, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm gonna go back to Silhouette Studio. I'm going to go up here where it says File, and I'm gonna go to Merge, and I'm going to search for that letter. See, it's right here, Thunder Regular. I'm going to click on it, and I'm gonna press OK. When it comes in, this is how it's gonna look, okay? I'm going to make it a little bit, make it a little bit bigger so that it could actually match. It could actually match the letters that I have here, okay? So this is what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna take that line off. So I'm gonna click on it. I'm gonna change it, even though it's black, I'm gonna change it to black and I'm gonna take the line off, okay? So now it looks okay. This, I don't need it anymore. And the size of it looks like it's the same, around the same size as the other letters. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to click on everything and now I'm ready to group it together, everything together. When I group it, you will still notice that these cut marks are still in there. If you should send this to your Cricut is gonna cut out all these cut lines. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna go up here where it says Object, you're going to go to Modify, and you're going to go to Weld. When you weld it, it's gonna look like this, okay? All right. Now I'm just going to take the color off for you to see something, okay? All right, let me undo. I'm gonna change the color for you to see. Let me take off the line. The line is already gone. Okay. All right, so let me leave it as black. Okay. Now that I have this, I'm going to size it down because it's too wide. Okay. It's too wide. Now it's 11.4. I don't want it too big. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to position it in such a way where it is inside that love, because I'm gonna cut it out of the word love. So I want it to be around 11.1. Let me see how large all of it is. So this is about 8.869 together and 11.13, which is fine by me. All right. Now that I have this, okay, what I want to do is to cut it out. Cut it out. So let me position it how I want it to be. This is too wide. I'm gonna bring it over a bit. Okay, I'm gonna bring it over a bit because of that. Okay, this is fine. Okay, so now that you position it how you want it to be, you are going to add an offset. You're going to add an offset to the word deeply. Okay, I'm still trying to get it how I want it to be. Okay, so I don't want it too big or too wide. So this is fine. What you're gonna do, you're gonna click on the word deeply, and you're gonna go over here where you see the star. And you're gonna see two options. You're gonna see offset and you're gonna see internal offset. You're gonna click on the offset and it's gonna default to 0.125. You're gonna press apply. When you press apply without changing or touching anything, I want you to press shift and click on the word love. When you do that, I want you to go over to the the modify panel. Okay, this is the one that has a square or a rectangle and a circle. Okay, you're gonna click on it. You're gonna go up to where it says subtract, and you're gonna subtract it out without touching anything. You're gonna see that the word love is now ungrouped. You're gonna go back up here where it says object, and you're going to group it. Okay, so now this is what you're going to have. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to work on the word love. I know that love is selected because it's showing red. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the, I'm going to go back to the offset panel, and I'm going to click on the internal offset, and I'm going to press apply. When I press apply, I'm going to go up. I'm not touching anything. I'm going to go up and I'm first going to group it. Then I'm going to go over here. You're going to see that the color is gone. It means that it is showing the internal offset that you just did. I'm going to change that internal offset to green. Now, this is what you are going to have. I do not need the modify panel anymore. So I'm going to click off. And I'm also going to click off this one. Now, this is what you are going to have. The next thing you'll want to do is this is ready to be turned into rhinestones. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open my rhinestone panel. And for the outline, which is the red portion, I'm going to put an edge. When you put an edge, it's going to look like this. Okay? It's going to look like this. You're going to go over here and you're going to take off that line. The line is off already. Now you're going to, I'm going to change the spacing to a 0 point. Let me undo. I'm going to change the spacing to a 0.015. Now this looks okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that green, the red line is still around it, I could see it. I'm going to take off that red line, okay? And I am going to use the radial fill for this one. And this is what it looks like. Now that I have this, what I'll have to do is to go ahead and just fill up the spaces that are inside this bowl. In order to do that, I'll have to go ahead and release the rhinestones. So I'm gonna move deeply out the way. Let me see if I can make this into a compound part. It's not giving me the option right now. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move the deeply out of the way, and I am gonna work on this part that says love. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to release all the stones. I'm not touching anything, I'm not moving anything, so you're gonna go down here where it says release. When you release your stones, you're gonna see a box all around the stones. It means that your stones are released. Now, what I'm going to do, I am going to take the deeply and put it back where it's supposed to be. Why? Because I want to have a visual idea of how it's gonna look when I'm finished. Because these stones right here, around the word around the O, what are red, I want to change those to like a green. And all of these stones right here, I want to change it to green because I want them to look somewhat uniform. Okay, so all these, let me zoom up because I want you to see what I'm doing. Okay, so all these red dots right here. So I click on this red dot right here. Let me come up one more because I want you to see what I'm doing. Okay, I click on this red dot right here. I'm gonna press my shift key, click on this one, 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 and I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna change it to green. Then I'm gonna just shift them over a little bit so that it's not on each other. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. I'm gonna press shift, click on all these ones that are around these letters. Okay, and I'm gonna change it to the color green. I'm also gonna shift them over just a little bit so that they're not touching the other ones. Also, what I'm gonna do, this makes no sense right here. I'm gonna take it away. Now, these ones right here, I'm gonna change it to green. Okay, let me see how that looks. Okay, these ones right here, Let's see. Let me see if I could change these ones to green. I'm gonna press shift, select all of this. And I'm gonna change it to green. Let me zoom down and see how that looks. Um, Let me change this to green. Does not look bad because it looks like it is just the outline. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead also. In order to add stones, what you're gonna do, you're gonna select some stones. You're gonna press Control Copy, Control V, and then you are going to put stones in areas that are lacking. Okay, so I'm gonna shift up. Okay, you're gonna see that I could add stones in these little areas right here. And right here, I could add some stones and shift over some of these stones. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shift around stones. I'm gonna clean it up a bit. And then when I come back, I'll show you what to do next. Okay, guys, so I think I am somewhat satisfied with what I have here. I like my stones very close. And I wanted to obsess, but I am not gonna obsess today. So this is what I have. When you have this, when you are happy with what with moving around the stones and adding stones in certain areas, I want you to go up to where it says edit and then go down to where it says select by color. Because now we'll have to group back everything together nicely. So you're gonna go over where it says by fill, and you're gonna see that there are three different layers here. You'll have the red, the green, and the black. You're gonna click on the red layer and you're gonna go up here where it says group. You're gonna group it. When you group it, you're gonna see that everything is grouped together. You're gonna go over back to object and you're gonna make it a compound path. When you make it a compound path, you are gonna notice that the color is gone. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to zoom up closely. Zoom it up as close as you can get it. And you're gonna look at those stones to see if there's any bright red stones or if there are any stones that are overlapping each other. Okay, now this is crucial, this is important. Now you're gonna go back over here. Let me zoom down. And you are going to, when you're happy with it, you're gonna go back and put the color. So I'm gonna put the color to be red just for now, and then I am going to take that line off. Okay, so the line is gone. Then you're gonna go back to the green. Everything is selected. You're gonna go up here, you're gonna group it. And then you're gonna go back to object after it's grouped. Silhouette Studio is acting so weird today. It ain't funny. Okay, you're gonna group it. You're gonna go over here and you're going to make it a compound path. You're gonna do the same thing. Look at it. See if there are any bright red stones. Zoom it up as much as you can. See if there are any bright red stones, if any stones are overlapping. Especially in I know that my letters, my stones in my O is very close. But it's okay. So what I'm gonna do, everything looks okay. I'm gonna zoom down and I'm going to turn it back to green. And I'm gonna go over here, take the line off. Okay, so both these layers are made into a compound path. I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna see if I can make it. I'm going to release the compound path. When I release the compound path, it's gonna look like this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna group it back. This is important. I'm gonna group it back. After I group it back, I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna make it back into a compound path. When you make it into a compound path, it's going to look like this. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put back the color, which is black, and then I'm gonna take that line off. Okay. Now that I have this, what I actually want to do is, it doesn't matter, but I'm gonna change the color of the red to black. Okay. I'm not going to group the black, the deeply, the HTV with the rhinestones because they're gonna cut separately and they're gonna be cut in different ways. Okay. You are gonna cut the HTV on a different setting than you would cut your rhinestone holes. Okay. So I'm not gonna group them because I'm gonna cut them differently. Okay. But what I'm gonna do, I don't need this anymore. What I'm going to do, I'm going to select everything and I'm going to go up here where it says object and I'm going to group it. Okay. Now, when I bring it into Cricut Design Space, it's gonna give me 3 different layers: the outline, which is black, the green part, which is the stones in the middle, and then this deeply is gonna cut by itself because this is gonna be HTV. Okay. So what I'm going to do, you're going to make note of the size that you have. So here it's telling me that it is 11.242 by 8.895. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to save it as an SVG so that I could upload it into Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to go down here where it says File, go to Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive, and I'm going to save it to my silhouette designs. I'm going to save it as Love Deeply. And I'm going to save it. You're going to go here, save it as an SVG. You're going to press OK. When you do that, remember, make note of this size, 11.242, because you're going to need that when you bring it into Cricut Design Space.
Okay guys, so this is where I'm going to end this video. Watch out for part 2 where I'll show you how to bring it into Cricut Design Space and press your shirt.